Hi, my name is Avanti Nagral and I'm currently a student at Harvard University. I just finished my sophomore year and I'm doing a dual degree with the Berklee College of Music. At Harvard I'm studying psychology and global health, and at Berklee I'm studying voice, and it's a combined bachelor's and master's degree program. So I got into Harvard early in December 2014, and I'm also a musician and singer-songwriter and wanted to take a year off to be able to pursue that passion in a way that I hadn't had the time to in high school with other commitments. So I got in and I immediately had an opportunity to do some music stuff and to do some global health research. So I called Harvard and I said, look, I have these opportunities. Do you mind if I defer my admission? And they said yes. And you know, these concepts of bridge years or gap years, whether you take a year off after you've gotten in or you take a year off before you decide to apply, are becoming more and more common in everyday life in the US and India and everywhere else. And I think it's an amazing opportunity. It really gave me the opportunity to pursue my passion in almost a no stress setting, because I didn't have any other responsibilities during that time as I would have had, you know, had I taken it 5 years from then. And it also reaffirmed my passion and pursuit of music in a larger way, and that's how I ended up doing the Berklee program as well. So I'd highly recommend, you know, taking time off to work, to study, to pursue what you'd like, because it's a really stress-free, comfortable environment, and you know, you can travel, you can stay at home, whatever it might be, but I had an amazing time taking a year off, so it's highly recommended. So the reason I applied early action to Harvard, even though it was restricted, is because number one, I was almost pretty sure that given the opportunity to get in, I would want to go. But second, I know that early action also, to some extent, does increase your chances of getting into any particular college, only because you have that pool that's already filled. They usually fill about 50% of the class by the time they do their early action, so it definitely helps increase your chances. That being said, it's super important to be ready with everything by then, because if you have things incomplete, you know, it can only just delay the process. So I personally also kind of wanted to be done with the college process, so I decided, you know, applying early to wherever I eventually chose, Harvard, would help me, you know, put my thoughts together and help me speed up that process and, you know, be ready with all my other applications. And I actually had the rest of my applications ready too around that same time, just didn't end up sending them in once I got in. But, you know, I think having that early deadline also helps put things in perspective and helps you, you know, get done with things earlier. So I think, you know, being at Harvard is such an amazing opportunity, and I'm so grateful every day. And one of the things I love most about it is the access to resources that I have that I, you know, have not had in the past. Whether that's access to just people and peers from different parts of the world, different socioeconomic backgrounds, and, you know, different ideas and thoughts. That's an amazing resource, you know, human resource to have. From that to one of the biggest libraries in the world, and the access to the amazing professors and, you know, research access, and just access to different classes and different things that really open up your mind and your perspective in different ways. You know, I have a lot of people who ask me about the liberal arts education, and at the end of the day, you know, most of the Ivy Leagues are liberal arts education, and they are liberal arts colleges because they encourage you to pursue many, many different things at the same time, so that your perspective is broadened, and that if you're at all, like me, interested in pursuing anything interdisciplinary, I think it's an amazing way to be able to put different subjects and different schools of thought together. In my case, I'm also doing a dual degree with the Berklee College of Music. It's a super new program, just started last year, so I'm one of the first people in the program. But there's dual degree programs, you know, across the US as well. If you're interested in arts, there's a program with Brown and RISD. If you're interested in music as well, there's Columbia and Juilliard, there's Harvard and NEC, and there's, you know, several programs that help you combine two very seemingly disparate disciplines and passions, but be able to pursue them with the same level of intensity and energy. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, you know, because the idea of going to college is to explore your passion, and you should be given that opportunity to explore more than one thing. You know, in my case, I also perform professionally, and having access to the Berklee ecosystem helps me improve my skills, have access to people who are also on similar paths. Yet at the same time, being at Harvard and studying psychology and global health allows me to be with peers who are studying so many different things and learn from their schools of thought, learn from amazing professors. So, it is possible to do multiple things at the same time, and yes, it definitely takes a little bit of extra effort, but that's the beauty of the American education system, and that's the beauty of being able to be in an environment that supports, multiple passions, multiple things, and you never know where it takes you, I have friends who have gone to dual degree programs and have gone on to do business, have gone on to be professional artists or, whatever field that they're in, and have gone on to do really interesting things combining their passions, and that's what I hope to do as well. So I would highly recommend, trying to research dual programs or just even dual majors or interdisciplinary liberal arts programs at different colleges, because they really, really help you expand your way of thinking, and that those skills are transferable no matter what you do in life. So to be honest, initially I was really skeptical about taking help from a college counseling organization or from any outside help, but when I met Kim and Kavita from the Red Pen, I was completely sold, because I think it always helps to have that extra outside perspective, but it also helps to have people who are experienced and can give you an opinion, a professional opinion on how to improve your whole packaging to a college. I primarily, used Red Pen's essay services, which were incredible because they, looked at my essays. They didn't do any edits themselves. They didn't write anything themselves, which is awesome. What they did instead was just say, look, this is how you're coming across, and this is how you might want to come across, and these are ways that you could potentially fill that gap. And I think that was so helpful because it allowed me to be able to find my voice, my writing voice, and be able to present that in a way that I felt was authentic, and yet, was getting that outside opinion. Otherwise, it's just me and, my dad tag teaming on something, and sometimes that can have a little bit of a bias because, you're not able to see from that outside perspective. So I really, really like that. And, it was also very helpful to have people who've gone to the US and who have been in that college system being able to give you that feedback and advice, because it gives you that extra boost and that extra international perspective that you might need on something. So I guess my only piece of advice would be just be authentic with who you are, because at the end of the day, colleges are trying to fill their classes with people, not statistics. And the more you can communicate who you are as a person and your voice, the more that they will be endeared to you and want to fill their class with people like you, because at the end of the day they want people who will potentially be successful and be able to really thrive in their environments. And I think some of the best places to do that is your essay and your recommendations, because your essay is really the only place that your own voice comes through, and I think it's really, really important for that voice to shine. And your recommendations are a place where other people are able to vouch for you and bring that voice for you without you tooting your own horn. So I think both of those are especially important parts, but at the end of the day, US colleges in general, and definitely Harvard, looks for a holistic application. So grades are super important, everything's important, but it's about how do you show that you've done whatever you've done. It can be cooking, music, food, research, physics, whatever it is. How have you taken it to the next level, and how have you shown that your journey in general in life has been a pursuit toward that? I think if you frame it in terms of your life journey versus as a college project, it's only going to help you in your life, and it's also only going to make your college application better. So I would definitely recommend that. And I'd also, say if you're at all thinking of taking time off, after you get into college, or even before you decide to, it's a great option because it really, really allows you to do so many different things and explore that. And you can check out many resources online. Harvard itself recommends, we get a packet in our admissions acceptance letter saying timeout or burnout, and it recommends taking a gap year, or at least considering the option of doing that. So my basic piece of advice would just be yourself, be authentic, be who you are, and let your voice shine through. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe and share and do all of that good stuff. And please watch the Red Pen's YouTube channel for more information on higher education, the application process, and see you soon.